Hi VC. I've been working through my albums recently, trying to find the my 10 favourites, and it's proved to be really difficult. It's taken me 2 months of whittling down from a master list of about 50, and in the end, the only way I could do it was to decide which albums were my most played of that list. So I managed to get down to 10. There are loads of other albums I love, but this is my top 10. So let's take a look. So in at number 10, let's turn that down. You've got Tubular Bells original playing in the background. So first off, at number 10, Little Feat, the last record album. This is a great album. I play it one hell of a lot. It's on my phone, it's in my car, and on vinyl. It's second to none. It's on the Warner Brothers label. And favourite track on this one is Long Distance Love by Lowell George. It's just a stunning track. And I remember playing this when it came out in 1975, so I was 15, coming on 16, so great memories for me. Strange thing about all these albums, or maybe not so strange, is that they're all from the 70s. Favourite albums isn't all about just the album itself, the music, the cover. It's everything. It's how you feel at the time. It's what's going on around you. It's then the album cover art, the label, the artist, and the songs. And it's all those things together. Some albums I just can't play anymore because of the feelings I get when I play them. So we all know this on the vinyl community, I'm sure. So in at number 9, a much played album, 1974, but I was playing this heavily in 76. It was an extremely hot summer in the UK, one of the hottest we've ever had, and it was really great times. I was 17 then, and it was fabulous. There were some great albums, and I played this and the next two to death with one of my best friends. We used to sit and play these, and I just grew to love them. So Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks, absolute stunning album. It's probably, in my humble opinion, it's Bob Dylan's most complete album. It just all works together. It's got great tracks. It's just such a good album. The band are really rocking. So it's on the orange and yellow CBS, UK CBS label. It's a great album. My favourite track on this album, difficult. Probably If You See Her Say Hello, followed by You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go. Just superb. Desire came out after this album, also played that to death, but this is the one that I go back to. I've got about 3 or 4 reissues of this on CD and master discs. So that's number 9. In at number 8 is possibly the most famous reggae album of all time, 1977's Exodus, Bob Marley. Lovely gold sleeve. It's such a good album, this one. My favourite track has to be Jamming on this one, but Natural Mystic, So Much Things to Say, Guiltiness, The Heathen, Exodus, Jamming, Waiting in Vain, Turn Your Lights Down Low, Three Little Birds, One Love, People Get Ready. It's one of those albums that I have to play from start to finish. It's just an immense album. and I can never get bored with it. So Exodus Part 1 and Part 2 is on the nighttime version of the wonderful Island label. This is Marley at his peak for me. The album before this was Rastaman Vibration. I've got the original of that as well. Before that it was Live, and then Natty Dread, Burning, and then Catch a Fire was the first one. Just a stunning album. Everything about that album. That's what made Marley great. So that's in at number 8. Number 7. Now, I've heard a lot about this album on the VC. A lot of VC don't like this band. I guess because they are victims of their own success. This album as an album is incredible. It really is a great album. There's not a bad track on this. The following album I really didn't like at all. This one came out, had a new guitarist, and that was Joe Walsh. Of course, it's Eagles' Hotel California. It's a stunning album. Everything about it, again, the sleeve, the playing on this is just perfect. Great label, the Asylum label. This one's got the original inner coaster. Don Felder's on this. Such a pity he's gone. Really made a difference. You know, I always put down the song Hotel California to Felder, really. But this is a great album. It's had a Vanity label. Very retro looking label. It's just a great album. My favourite track on here, difficult once again. So many good tracks. I mean, this is the Eagles' Rumours, really. It was such a big album. Do you know, I like everything on here. Life in the Fast Lane's a great track, but I think Hotel California itself is the one that really does it for me. Multi-part. I think there are 10 guitar parts in that track. It's got Joe Walsh really playing great on there, and Don Felder, great guitar solos, twin guitar solos. It's just an amazing album. Right, in at number 6, an all-time favourite prog album, just before this band turned into an overindulgent super rock band, but ELP and Brain Salad Surgery. Remember buying this, absolutely love it. 1973, 13, great Kurt Geiger sleeve. These are often damaged, so I'm really pleased to have this great copy with the original, the Manticore label. It's got the inner in it, which is this wonderful fold-out booklet with the faces through the Kurt Geiger holes on there, so really good. Once again, not a duff track on this one. It is a prog album at its very best. It's the peak for me of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They didn't get any better than this. They just became overindulgent dinosaurs, which is ultimately what brought on the one of the issues that brought the punk bands out, because everyone was getting fed up. But this was ELP at their peak. Once again, a very, very complete album. I ought to say what my favourite track on this is. Do you know, Carnival 9 is just an amazing track, and I guess that's the one for me. But it's one of those albums you have to play from start to finish. You can't really drop it on a track and then take it off. Okay, also in 77, one of my favourite musicians of all time, John Martin, brought out an album. This was folk stroke dub crossover, amazing. This album, a couple of tracks were produced by Lee Scratch Perry, who played on it as well. It's just, once again, John Martin at his peak. It's an all-time classic. Couldn't Love You More, Certain Surprise, Dancing, Small Hours, Dealer, One World, Smiling Stranger, Big Muff. Big Muff's the Lee Scratch Perry track. For me, the track on this though is Dealer. I just love it. Very long track. How long is it? I know Small Hours is 8 minutes. Dealer. Oh no, hold on. Wrong. Big Muff, 6 minutes 25, not that long. Inner with lyrics. Saw him live in Bristol at the Hippodrome during this tour. It was just him and a beatbox and his guitar and a few effects through which he played his acoustic guitar. Just amazing. Absolutely fabulous album that I play again and again. Can never get bored of it. Once again, I've got multiple versions of this on CD, reissues, extended, all the rest of it. So had to be in my list. There's so many John Martin albums I like, but that is the album for me. The artwork, presentation of the whole thing. It's great, great times as well. Now, for those in the VC who know me, excuse me, just have a slurp of coffee. Those in the VC who know me and what I post will know that I'm an absolute Genesis, Peter Gabriel Genesis era fan. And you might be fooled in thinking I put Foxtrot or Selling England, All the Lamb Lies in this list. But unfortunately they didn't make it because my criteria was, well, what do I play again and again and again? And what's on my iPhone and as well? And it has to be this, which is probably going to be a real surprise. Wind and Wuthering. The last Hackett Genesis album, studio album that is. Lovely sleeve with the mottled effect on it. I don't know what it is about this album that I really like. I just love it. The feeling of it. I think it was the time that it came out again. It was a good time for me personally, and I just felt that this was my album. The earlier Genesis I'd bought, my brother had sort of tempted me into them. And, Trick of the Tail I went out and bought myself, and so did I Wind and Wuthering, although my first Genesis album was Foxtrot. My brother made me buy it, but I love it still. But for me, this 76 Genesis is such a great album. So there's my surprise in the pack. All down to the fact that I play this album again and again. I might have to get another copy because I'm going to wear it out. Okay. Surprisingly, this album, I always talk about it, didn't get to my number 1 slot. This is actually number 3. It's a prog gem. It's genius. A band again at its peak. They'd had the biggest album ever and then released this. I mean, how do you follow Dark Side of the Moon? Well, this is how you follow it. Wish You Were Here. This is a great, in my opinion, in my mind, a great Rick Wright album, because the keyboards on here are really prevalent, and such great tracks. And they got in Roy Harper to sing Have a Cigar because Waters and Gilmour couldn't really sing it and do it justice. So it's just a complete album. It's one of those albums, again, you have to play from start to finish. I love Animals, I love Dark Side of the Moon, but this is the Floyd album for me. Favourite track on here? Whew, really difficult. Wish You Were Here. Wish You Were Here is my favourite track on there. I mean, Shine On is a great track, but Wish You Were Here does it for me. Absolutely amazing. I've got the reissue of this with the black plastic cover. This is my original. This is my original, and I ditched the black cover when I bought it, threw it away. But hey, great, superb album. Very hard to beat. Again, a fabulous band at their peak. Now, everybody knows I'm a Bowie fan. This album is my favourite Bowie album. Once again, I bought this from HMV in London myself. The inner sleeve was the big poster which was adorning the two front windows at the HMV in Oxford Street in London. 1973. Amazing how old this is. The sound of this album is absolutely stunning. Recorded at Trident Studios, where I ended up, probably because of this album. I just love the drum sound, was fascinated by it. Very hard to choose one Bowie, but for me, Aladdin Sane, absolute genius album. Probably spawned one of the best singles of all time, Jean Genie, and that's the image, the androgynous image that was hanging either side of HMV, much to my parents' disgust, but they still let me go in and buy it. I think my dad bought it for me, actually. It's his Killing Off of Ziggy album. Of course, this is on the original orange RCA, and this copy is pretty mint. I mean, there's barely a click on it. It's a lovely, lovely copy. And I've got a couple of bits of memorabilia stuck in here, I think. Let me just pull those out, just put it away. What have I got? Yeah, I left them in here. So I've got the original. You can join David's official fan club by completing and returning this application form, a check and postal order for 55p, made payable to the David Bowie Fan Club, London. The David Bowie Fan Club, London. That's it. Wants to know who your brothers and sisters are. I also have this little flyer from the release date, which has the album details on one side. Talks about the. It's got a different picture on there than on the sleeve, and it's got a list of the gigs, the UK gigs, and it's got the older albums listed down here, but the gigs here. And I didn't see this tour, I was too young really. I think my brother saw it, but lots of classic venues like Glasgow, Edinburgh, Empire Theatre, Brighton, the Dome. But as you work down this list, Wolverhampton Civic Hall, huge venue, but as you work down this, you've got Leeds University, Leicester Empire, Chatham Central Hall, Kilburn the Gaumont, Salisbury City Hall, Taunton the Odeon at Taunton. Wow. Torquay Town Hall. These bands just wouldn't go down there anymore. Birmingham Town Hall, Boston Glider Dome, and Croydon Fairfield Hall. Amazing. But what a great, great, great album. I guess if I have to pick a favourite track off this one, it's not going to be Jean Genie. Do you know, I think it's Aladdin Sane itself for me. I love Mike Carson's piano in this. I think the band were getting fairly pissed off because he was sort of breaking up the band and wanted to go to the States, and didn't really pay them as full-time members of the band. He sort of gave them a sort of jobbing salary, and they earned money from the tour. It's got Linda Lewis on it, backup vocals, Juanita Honey Franklin, flutes and sax. Oh no, Ken Fordham was the sax player. But Mike Garson on this, his piano playing on Aladdin Sane is just genius. There's so many good tracks on here. Watch That Man, Aladdin Sane, Driving Saturday, Panic in Detroit, Cracked at the Time, Prettiest Star, Let's Spend the Night Together, The Gene Genie, Lady Grinning Soul. Absolutely brilliant. Got a huge poster of the cover up there. It is really amazing it didn't really get into my #1 slot. I play this album so much. Just bought the reissue on CD. I still prefer the vinyl. So, top 10, #1. This is the ultimate prog album. The ultimate prog band, and this is the best lineup of that band. Overblown lyrics, fantastic musicianship, groundbreaking artwork on the cover. 1972, it's just amazing that such a great album could have come out in 72. Came from nowhere, really. The album before it is great, but then they got a new keyboard player called Rick Wakeman, and the album, the top 10, is Close to the Edge by Yes. Everything about this album is genius. The album cover, great colouring, great pictures of the band. Eddie Offord, who co-produced and engineered this album. The great Roger Dean artwork, the forming of the official Yes logo, which they've had other logos, but that's the one for me. And the great Close to the Edge landscape, Roger Dean landscape in the middle there. I used to sit and look at that for hours on end. I've played this album time and time again. I've got 2 of the reissues that came out recently. Can't stop playing them. I tend to play the reissues because I don't want to wear this one out, but this is in good condition. Just fantastic inner sleeve as well. I've ordered the new CD or DVD, Blu-ray, whatever it is. It's on the great Atlantic red and green with the Yes logo up there, and it's such a good album. Just trying to think, my favourite track, it's the opening of side 2, And You and I by Anderson, themes by Bruford, Howe and Squire. 10 minutes 40, absolutely fabulous. Once again, not a deaf track on this album, and for me is the most complete album by this band. It's the most complete prog album ever. It's the one all other prog albums have to compete with and will never beat. I've got lots of prog, and you know, you can criticise this for being what it is, you know, Yes, but it was there first really, and it's just genius. Can't stop playing it. So there we are, there we have it. My top 10 of all time, probably never to change. They're all 70s albums. These are the ones I play the most. I play other albums, obviously. I could have put 10 Bowies in there. I could have put 3 or 4 Pink Floyd albums in there. I've got no Elton John in here, you know, like Yellow Brick Road or Captain Fantastic. I've got no Van de Graaff Generator in here. They're obviously all on my big list, but they just didn't make it to this. This is the core albums. If I lost everything else, album-wise, I would always come back to this 10. So let's just lift that up. The John Pickles 10 greatest albums of all time. That video has been going for 24 minutes. It's quite long enough. That's almost the whole of the first side of another great album, Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. So until next time, if you'd like to have a go at doing your top 10, please respond to this video. See you later.